What's going on, guys, and welcome back to our Surviving Java series. And as you can probably tell, we are not actually in our survival world, we're actually in a test world. I've been testing out different versions of gold farms and trying to figure out a completely AFKable version, and I've sort of come up with this. Now the platforms are probably going to be done ever so different, but the kill chamber is something I'm quite happy with because this is completely AFKable, provided we use, initially I was trying to use the zoglins because they would obviously instantly aggro on the zombified piglins, and when they get killed, for some reason I thought it was only when the piglins were aggroed onto a player that they drop XP, but yes, whenever they're aggroed in general they will drop XP, so we can obviously just collect an absolute bunch of XP this way. And we can just stay here AFK, collect all the gold. Now I don't think they drop the gold ingots, which I have not seen when the iron golems are killing them, but obviously if we're here and we want to kill them, we can obviously use a sword to do so. Now I've got these two little drop chambers. I decided to get rid of the baby ones because they wasn't being able to be hit by the iron golems. They were able to be hit by the zoglins, but the zoglins every now and again would get hit by them and they would not last very long because they've not got a very high health pool. But as you can see, we've got a baby one. Oh, she actually got hit by that one. Yeah, but the majority of them just seem to run off the edge. And there's another issue that I'm running into with the drop chamber. I'm using the turtle eggs in order to attract them to the middle, but every now and again these guys keep on getting stuck on the corners or just like there for some reason. I don't understand why. Well, that one is a clear reason why they're getting stuck, but other than that, one at a time, yeah? Is there a way that we can combat that? Also, when I build it, I'm going to have obviously limited amount of room to put the platforms in because I can't have the kill chamber any further than, I think it's 22 blocks from the top platform, otherwise the zombie guys will die instantly unless I use hay blocks, which I have been using here, or using the honey blocks to break their fall. But the rates that you get, provided that you're higher than the spawning level of within the nether, because at the moment we're like the glass levels at max build limit. Yeah, see, these guys are just like getting stuck somehow. Are they getting, see, it's not even like they're getting stuck on the corners, they're just getting stuck there until someone comes along and nudges them. Not too sure what to do about that. I could try different variations of the kill chamber things, but otherwise it seems to be working alright. As soon as you get like a pack spawn like that and they sort of nudge each other and they end up going down anyway. But it's a case, I still need to build a collection system for it, which I've got ideas of how to do. I just don't know how to implement it that well yet, because obviously you can't use water streams and the rates of the drops are going to be pretty high, especially disposing of all of the zombie flesh and the gold swords. But as for an AFK XP farm and the golden nuggets, you get absolutely tons of. Still not seeing any gold ingots, which is a little bit concerning. Maybe if I had one of them next to me here and kept him permanently aggroed on me. So can we get a spawn egg? Yeah, we can. Hopefully he's not aggroed on them guys. And then we're going to have to switch over to survival just to see if this works, and then aggro him. But XP wise it's fairly rapid, and this is with me down here because we're so close to the bottom spawning platform. We're not actually getting spawns on the bottom one when I'm here. I just wanted to see the rates of when I went back to I think it's only when I kill them that they have a chance of dropping golden nuggets, and obviously with a sweeping edge sword, if I'm here I can obviously swipe at them and get the golden ingots. I'm not sure if I said nuggets just a second ago, but I can swipe at them with the sweeping edge and kill bunches of them at the same time, and then when I go away the iron golems can sort of do the work. So if I'm here, oh crap, can I I wasn't in creative, was I? Oh no, I'm going to spawn back at spawn. Oh, okay, that's alright. But yeah, the rates are pretty decent on this, and Obviously, that guy's gone now. But I don't think that was going to work anyway, so I'm not overly fussed. I was getting trouble with them spawning in the iron golem chambers, but as long as you've got carpet down, that's not a problem. And then we're glass proof up here because it's only too high and when we've got the glass on top. But I'm thinking of doing the outer rings a little bit further so they're permanently away, because that way I can have platforms coming all the way down, as long as they're the rings going outer, and we could do them bigger. So the inner rings will be empty, but we need to make sure that they're within aggro range of the turtle eggs, which I think is 33 or 34 blocks. So that's something for me to work out. But what I am going to do is build this concept, including the kill chamber, over in our survival world, which is going to take a while. And because there's no replay mod, and because I can't be asked to set up a second account to record it, it's just going to be one of them. This is the alterations I made. And then we can work on the collection system and storage system after we've done that. So yeah, I guess I'll catch you after that. Well, I guess I'll catch you for that, shall I say. Yeah, in a bit. Alright then guys, it's been around about 2 days since that last bit of recording in our redstone test world, and I have actually got it all built up. Well, the majority of it anyway. I've not put in the turtle eggs or the drop shoot center, because obviously I don't want them feeding down, so I've sorted out a collection system. But we can actually go for a fly around and have a look. So we've got 3 platforms. Each platform took around about a shulker's worth of magma blocks. So I actually had to go out and collect an absolute bunch of them, which was a nightmare. That took me ages. I didn't expect it to use up that many magma blocks, but the distance that it goes is literally the max distance that a zombified piglin can aggro a turtle egg from the center point. So I'm hoping that the ones that spawn on the outskirts can still spot it and go down the middle. And then down at the bottom, I've actually had to lower it. Initially I had the kill chamber a bit higher up, because obviously I didn't want to have to do spawn proofing. But we've got this thing that allows you to add the spawning spheres and the despawning spheres, so then you can see roughly how far you need to be from the farm, and plus how far you need to sort of spawn proof around the farm, because over 128 is when mobs start automatically despawning. Hold on. There you go. Sorry, one of my screens were threatening to turn off on me. So what we could do is actually bring that up like so. Oh, we need to do one of them as well. So the inner sphere is our spawning, well, our inner spawning sphere. So this one is where only mobs can spawn on the outside of this ring, and initially my kill chamber was around about 10 blocks higher. So yeah, I've had to sort of move the kill box down, our kill chamber, and then from there the despawning sphere goes all the way underneath, which was a bit of a nightmare because I've had to go underneath and go round and button everything. If we can just show you, if I jump into spectator mode, then I can give you a quick show and tell what I've had to do. So all of it I've had to button. This is where it actually was, this entire area had around about 50 to 100 hoglins in for some reason. This was the room that I cleared out in order to get the piglins for my farm, which is just over here. Yeah, so that room that I cleared out ended up being one of the main areas I had to button, that and the massive chunk of the Crimson Forest. So if we bring that down, as you can see, it sort of cuts off. So I've had to run around all here and work my way through the little caves and crevices and using ender pearls, and it was such a nightmare having to do everything like that. But it's a easier way if I just jump in spectator mode to show you what I've had to do. And all of this is done completely in survival. And we're just lucky that I'm an admin on the server, so I can jump in spectator mode to show you everything. So we've got the 3 platforms, and what I actually want to do is just show you a quick update as to what I've done. So we've got the kill chamber down below. I've had to put hay blocks instead of normal blocks in the middle, just so that the piglins don't die, because the fall from that height will kill them on normal blocks. We've got our 3 iron golems in their cells. We've got the drop chutes for the baby ones, because they can become quite a nuisance and build up. We've got our platform here, was initially 1 block lower where that one is. But what I want to actually do is have a collection system come in from, obviously, under this platform, going down this way. So then our storage thing will be at the back end of this, because I want the entire thing sort of built on to one another. So that way I could just go from one section to the other without having to jump all the way down to check the storage to make sure it's not overflowing or anything. And I have actually come up with a storage idea that I want to do. And it's easier for me to show you, let me get out of this. It's easier for me to show you in my redstone test world than it would be to build it, because building it I'm going to have to be coming off of the scaffolding, building underneath, and it is going to be proper tedious. And without a sort of third camera, well, a second camera, like a third person perspective, or the replay mod currently for this model, it will be very hard for me to show you as I'm building it, because it is going to be an absolute nightmare building it high up in the sky. But what we can do is hop over into my redstone test world and I'll show you it. Okay, so we're over here in the redstone test world. I think I'm in, yes I am, in creative. So what we are going to be using is, if you watch Ep20, he came up with a design that allows basically hopper chains to be double as quick, and if you double up on it, it will be 4 times as quick, which is the idea that I'm going to be using, just because from the sheer amount of drops that come in and how quickly you have to deal with them, it is a little bit monstrous on the system. So I think I'd need to not be flying. There we go. So like as soon as you kill them, the drops will get picked up by the hopper minecarts underneath, and it's so loud, I do apologise for that. Is there a way of turning off our mob sounds? Hostile creatures, if we do that, just so we don't have to listen to them. Awesome. So yeah, the hopper minecarts pick it up, and they are dropping it into 3 separate 8 long hopper chains. So that way it can disperse, what is it, 8 items every about half a second. It goes up and down. They feed into the droppers down below, and then we've got the observers running off of an observer clock, sending all of the items through. So everything that isn't getting filtered out by these filters, and then each item, or each chest, has 4 hoppers pointing into it, which means the whole system is going to be 4 times quicker than any standard sorting system, which is really nice. It just means that it's going to be, as you can see, an absolute ton of hoppers, and the storage system is going to look a little bit weird because we're going to have this sort of setup, and we're obviously going to have probably 1, 2, and we're going to have is it? Yeah, so it's 1, 2. These filters are for both these sides, and these filters are for that side. So it'll be like 1, 2 for probably the golden nuggets, then 1 for the golden ingots. I may do 1 for rotten flesh at the end, and then the rest I'll just have dispensing into fire like this. And that should control the amount of drops, and obviously feed it through the system a hell of a lot quicker than anything else we could do. I'm not too sure how many chests I want to go up though, because obviously we want a nice backlog, so then we don't have to constantly keep on emptying it. What is going on here? Oh, I don't want to drop. Okay, so they are still fine. I was wondering how comes I couldn't hear them. I turned off the sounds, didn't I? I forgot that you got the zombies in this thing as well. So we can kill them, and then all of their drops get picked up, as you can see, pretty much instantly. And then they get dispensed through there. And then these guys are working good because all the items should be filtering through. Obviously, that should not be there. Yep, that's good. And obviously, because this is now picking them up, because this is having 2 filters on the same lines. You've got 1 here and then 1 here, just in case they get past. And then you've got another secondary or backup one for when these 2 get filled, and the same for the opposite side. I really do like this sort of idea, because obviously we can't use water streams or basically water streams to push against ice to disperse the items quick enough. This is probably going to be the better option for that than using the pistons with slime blocks launching it across the ice for it to be sorted quicker. But I really do like this design a lot better, although it's a lot more resource intensive, as you could probably tell. But what I'm going to have to do is build all of this in my survival world, which is, oh my god, it's going to be... On this one, it's going off to the side, and because it's going off to the side, we're missing blocks here where I had the babies drop in. So that's how it comes. I'm going to switch it around and I have it facing this way where our AFK spot is. Can you get lost? Yeah, where our AFK spot is where I'm going to have the hopper minecarts coming underneath and feeding into the dropper chain. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to say the least, but none of these guys should be getting filled. That is great. So yeah, I guess I'm going to crack on and sort of get this built over in my survival world and pray that I don't die too many times. I've got a respawn anchor like down below. That is where I obviously killed myself when I forgot that I was in survival. Yeah, I guess I'll catch you back after I've built it all. I guess I'm ready to put in the eggs to test it out. I'll catch you back probably tomorrow, to be honest with you. Alright guys, so it's been a good about 4 or 5 hours worth of sorting this stuff out, and I have forgotten to relight that. I was testing the actual sorting system and I was just letting the passive ones sort of drop down. I've not actually put in the turtle eggs yet. Can we do something like that? Thank you very much. Now, yeah, we have to be very careful because the hopper minecarts are running underneath here. So if we put any shulker shells or anything up here, or shulker boxes, shall I say, and we break them, it'll get picked up and just dispensed straight into the fire, which is something very close to what I did do because I luckily didn't have the actual sorter switched on. But what we've got turtle eggs on us, and let me just give you a little fly around. So our storage is looking pretty beastly for it. The majority of them are for the golden nuggets. So this line is nuggets, this line's nuggets, this line's nuggets, this line's nuggets, and this line is ingots because we're obviously not going to get that many of them. And the whole reason that I've done nuggets so much is because obviously it's a much more frequent drop. So there's a much better chance of them getting picked up regardless of how quick they come in. And with the fire just there at the end, we're not going to be causing any lag whatsoever because the items are going to be picked up and spat out relatively quickly. And if we just take a little fly back, we've got sorters on either side for each of them columns, just like I showed you in our redstone test build. And I think it's looking pretty beastly as it is. Like, we've got our switch on and off for our actual chain, shall I say. But we are actually going to have to go in here now and put in the turtle eggs. Ouch. So how to do this is another question. I have got ender pearls on me, so, you know, winning. If we do one of them, thank you. So we need 2 blocks of air gaps for each turtle egg. So the first one can go there, and hopefully when I do this they should all go legging for it, or none of them. Is it because we got a glass block up there? Okay. So yeah, they are now all decided to go for it, which is happy days. And then we want to ender pearl down here. So we've got that one which is on there. Ah, they're going to keep on nudging me, aren't they? Let's break you. Let's break you. And then break you. And then our next one is obviously going to go down there. So if we can do one of them. And I think that's all that we are going to need for them. I've not got any trapdoors on the corners because now, my god, yeah, they should pretty much just walk straight in and down because it's a 3x3 hole. And yeah, the rates on it's looking alright so far. I have got Mac running around in spectator mode around the actual farm. But yeah, for the actual kill chamber, we do actually have to do a little one of these guys. And then we can just swing away at them. Oh, actually, I may actually have to move this back a little bit. So if we do that and then go down, there we go. That way we can kill them and get all of the goodies. And let's just see what sort of rates they're dropping back down in. The thing is that the platforms themselves are pretty large. And yeah, you know what? The rates aren't half bad. Provided we get the sort of pack spawns up there. And the iron golems are doing their bit. Just keeping an eye on the drops now. We got stairs there and stairs there, which I'm clearly going to have to swap out for solid blocks. Because they are getting the odd bit of zombie flesh stuck in them. But yeah, so that's one little fix I'm clearly going to have to do. But rate wise, let's just take a step back. Yeah, because the platforms are pretty big, and if they spawn over here, then they still have to make that walk all the way over to the centre. Well, that guy's getting flung up. But it should be okay. I'm not too sure where Mac is. If he's too close to the farm, he's going to be blocking spawn. So I can't see him when he's in spectator mode. There's something also that we can do to sort of increase the spawn rate is by putting glass across the outer edges, and that will obviously be unspawnable spots but will encourage pack spawning, which is something that we definitely want. But that is not what I want to do. Didn't even know that I could do that. Let's just get rid of these. And if you're wondering now, I've turned the hostile mobs noises off because, yeah, they are just obnoxiously loud. But this is not half bad, and considering that I can just lay here and go AFK, go make a brew or something, and when it sort of fills up, the iron golems will start doing their work and bouncing them around. It's just as soon as they get to within reaching range of the iron golems, they usually seem to flip out. So let's leave it until that happens, so we know roughly how many need to be in the kill chamber. Because it's a little bit weird. It's just like all of a sudden they'll just switch, yeah. And then when one kicks off, they usually all kick off. The one on the right is now kicking off with them. And I've got to keep an eye on the health of the iron golems, because in my test build I did lose a couple of them. And I'm not too sure how to combat that exactly. But considering that I can just now leave this AFK overnight and just let the XP and the drops build up. And obviously it's nowhere near as quick as the old gold farms. What I could do in regards to the actual iron golems though is I could sort of have dispensers with splash potions of healing fed into them and just have them go off like every so often. Cheers mate, you're actually helping me there. And just have them sort of go off every so often. So now all of a sudden they're just pouring in. Yeah, I think it's definitely got something to do with the pack spawning. Like, we've got a 3 up there that's just sort of stuck. I'm not too sure what to do about that, but it shouldn't be too much of an issue provided that we get the others come along and pushing them. Oop, there we go, thank you. And these guys are still getting bounced around. Just to make sure that everything is working here. Now our first set of filters are over here. Yeah, so they've just literally started to fill. I don't know how full. Oh yeah, that one's getting more. So, and yeah, as you can see, because it's coming in so quickly and it's dropping from this point as well. Because if they drop ingots or nuggets all the way here, they can sort of skip that hotbar chain and go straight to this one. So it will gradually, over time, fill. But what I'm going to do is probably do an AFK session overnight for around about 6 or 7, oh there it is, for about 6 or 7 hours, and then I will see what the outcome is in the morning, I guess. So yeah, I guess I'll catch you tomorrow morning. Alright then guys, so I did an AFK session. Now I checked and I must have only got around about 4 hours worth of AKF in, nope, that's not right, AFK in. We've lost an iron golem on the right where the babies are obviously been running through, but what I'm going to end up doing is blocking it off so they, oh my god, almost fell, is blocking it off so they can't actually get into that chamber at all. I'll block it with another set of trapdoors with the iron golem, and then underneath where the babies are obviously dropping down over here, I can probably just get rid of that area so then they just drop down to the ground. Actually, I was thinking about blocking it up and putting some wither roses there. But the other thing is the rates of the farm, because the platforms are so large, and because it takes them a good second or two to clock on to the actual turtle eggs, they are not getting down quick enough. Whilst the rates over at Max Farms, the way that he's got his one designed using aggro instead of the turtle eggs, is a hell of a lot quicker, and his rates are a lot better, as you can see. Now the whole point that I'm getting absolutely jack all rates at the moment is because obviously he's over here and he's not dispersing or disposing of his ones. And I'm up to level 178, so the farm design isn't terrible, and that's with me doing absolutely nothing. I wasn't swinging my sword, so obviously I wasn't getting the wow, I'm up to 5 rockets. I wasn't getting the ingots, but I did get, I think, let me see how much I've got. I've got just over 1.5 double chests of the golden nuggets. There we go. And how much would that be? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which would be just over 1 stack of gold blocks. This is where I had to get rid of the babies because they all drop down to that level, but I can easily get rid of that little section. Can we? Oh, clearly we bloody can't. Can we just get up here somehow? Yep, do one of them. So what I am thinking of doing is actually tearing down my farm design, bringing down the kill shoot down to this level, and then having the aggro ring around that Max got, because that design seems to be working a lot better, and I can still keep the same kill chamber with the iron golems, and that should still work perfectly fine provided I make them pathfind correctly. So I had a bloody moth on my screen. I thought it was just a mark, but nope. Went to sort of smudge it off and it just flew at me. Fucking hell, it scared the hell out of me. It's way too early for me to be recording. So what I'm going to do before we end this episode off is I'm going to actually tear down these platforms up here, and I'm actually going to create the ring that Mac has got. We've got our little what have I named them? Frosty Feet Joys that allows me to walk on the magma blocks. Yeah, I've got these guys, and I'm probably going to have to bring down that glass as well. But obviously I'll do that after taking down the magma blocks, because we're going to want to bring the ring down and obviously have it a lot wider out. Which is awesome, but Mac has offered to come over and help me because I helped him with his sorting system. Let's quickly go grab our rocket box because I don't want to run out halfway over there. And then we got Max. Oh, okay. I don't know what happened there. There's a little bit of a delay. Yeah, I helped him with his sort of system. He's got only a single line of the dropper chain running, but his rates are obviously a hell of a lot better than mine, and his design is actually really nice as well. He's gone for these pathways. The issue that he was running in with is that the zombified piglins weren't pathfinding all there. There's pathfinding just above the kill chamber on this side. So he's got rid of the path that's going directly behind it, and he's veering it off into both other sections, and then they could pathfind round and into the actual chamber, which is the hopes and dreams anyway. But I don't think he's going to be too happy with the way this is coming along, although I do like the look of it, and I love the fact that the chains are holding it up. There you go. Yeah, but his rates, as you can see, are astronomically better than mine. But it does mean I'm going to have to get a bunch more glass, because although I only need to do the outer ring of glass, I don't have to do the entire kit and caboodle that he's done with the inner ring. So what I may do is get the measurements and just use the glass that I've got, but it means tearing down, oh my god, tearing down my farm, which is going to be such a pain. Like the first top 2 layers ain't going to be an issue. I could do that pretty lickety split, but the next 2 layers, yeah, it's going to be fun and games. But hopefully after I've got it all done, because obviously this video is now going to be running on a bit, I'll bring you back once that's all done and dusted. So yeah, I guess I'll catch you back in probably later on this evening. Yeah, back in a bit. Alright then guys, so it's now 2 days later. Yeah, again, this episode is taking just stupid amounts of time. I've built up a completely new gold farm. Yeah, I'm just going to have to do it very quickly because we are so out of time of today's episode. But as you can see, I'm at like level 171. I've got the iron golems, although the one in that trapdoor area where I've been tempting the babies to sort of run off because the iron golems in them 2 chambers can't reach, he keeps on getting killed by the babies. So what I may actually do is just put a turtle egg in that room to entice the babies to run off that way for when I want to go AFK. But I'll give you a quick tour before we before we end off today's episode. Oh my god, they're going to be so mad at me. So if we get a view, it's the same sort of layout as Mac's one, and I've done a basically black stone with iron bar in a ring, and I'm actually tempted to do this on the outside as well because I think it looks really freaking amazing. Although that bit where the magma block is, I may have to put some blocks there just so it sort of matches in with the theme. And then we've got the crimson wood that sort of separates this line going across. Now I've got a turtle egg over there as well for when I want to go fully AFK, so that way it still draws them all in even if I do lose aggro when I'm AFK. But I'm at level 171, so it's been running for a good while now this morning while I've been doing other bits and pieces. So I would very much like to see just what our situation down here is like, provided no one jumps on me. They shouldn't be able to jump off because I've got the railings plus half slabs up top. So that is nothing new. That was only partially filled. That's pretty full. That's full. So that's roughly where we are on the nuggets. So how many? It's like 1, 2, 3, 3.5 double chests, and this one is just started to fill as it's coming in, like a lot quicker. I don't think we're going to have many of the ingot share because the buffers on the ingots are obviously filling up, and then I've not really been doing much killing with my sword, which is how you get the ingots. They're a player only drop. So if the iron golems are killing them, then obviously I'm not going to be getting the gold ingots like that one just there. And I'm using the Smite 5 sword. This is my like zombified guy killer, zombified piglin. I forgot the name of them then. It's been so long bloody farming these guys. Now I do have to make some massive like cosmetic changes to this area, like our little landing strip, and I've got signs here saying no shulkers on the platform. Shulkers will be picked up and destroyed. We learnt that the hard way numerous times, me and Matt, because we just sort of come here, put the stuff down to carry on building, and oh my god, we've got Doris here. Doris I've managed to get killed twice so far, and the first one is we had her on a minecart up here, and because we've got tracks underneath this section where it's dispensing the items in the dropper chains, she actually got picked up somehow by the track underneath when I nudged the minecart, and then she suffocated in the blocks going back and forth, which was fun. So we had to replace her. She's our one for getting angry as snowballs, so we've got a shulker here full of snowballs that Mac was kind enough to drop off to us, and as you can see the rates on this one is pretty good, so repairing our tools and getting levels is not going to be a problem. Like that will fill up relatively quickly provided the iron golems don't kill them off beforehand, because if they go too close to either one of them sides they will just get killed off by iron golems, and I'll get the XP anyway. So we've got a bunch more in here. Now if I go into spectator mode, just so you can see, they sort of come around here, go around to the main platform, and then jump off into the middle. We've got the egg just sitting there for our AFKableness. That's not correct term, is it? AFKableness? Well, for our option of being completely AFK to get the XP, just so I can leave it overnight. But the thing with the server is that it's doing resets a lot more often than what it should be doing, so I'm only managing to get maybe an hour AFK session in before it actually kicks me from the server. I'm actually going to have a look at that in a moment with Mac. Obviously not on this video because yeah, you don't want to see that crap. I'm going to end off today's episode before I carry on rambling too much, but I'm quite happy the way the farm has come along, considering this is now the second iteration of the entire farm that I had to rip down and then rebuild. Because yeah, but having the ability to have it completely AFKable without the use of entity cramming, which is how you would usually do it, considering that they're planning on removing that from the game entirely. I believe they're removing the fact that you get XP from entity cramming. But this is my one, and then I can show you Mac's one actually. If I this is Mac's one. Very similar. We've had to upgrade his storage system in stages, so it's sort of mimicking mine, which is mimicking Ethos for his piglin farm, just because the amount of drops were insanely quick. Now his one, I don't really understand why his one is a lot quicker at spawning them, and I think it's because his platforms are further away than mine. So what I may do is actually extend the outer edge of my platforms, because if I come to his one and anger Doris, what version are you? You're Doris 2. I killed Doris 1 here as well. My one's iteration 4, I do believe. But his one comes in a lot quicker than mine. So, yeah. I may actually expand my platforms just to see if I can get these sort of rates at mine. Mine sort of comes in sort of waves and that. Now, if you're shouting at me saying it's because the farms are too close to one another, that is a definite possibility. But we checked the despawn fizz, and my one is over 128 blocks away from this one. So the chances of them despawning from over there are incredibly high. Oh god, that is so loud. Is incredibly high. They automatically start despawning over 128 blocks away. So I'm hoping that's not a problem. Otherwise we may have to do some server trickery and shift my farm over so it's further away, because when we built these, we built them simultaneously, not knowing where the other one was building until after. Because there's the fog that you can't actually see mine. If there was no fog, you'd be able to see it clear as day, and there is a way that I can show you that. If I bring render shapes on and I'm not sure if I've removed my shapes or not. Have I? I think I have removed mine, unless I've not actually. I think I just disabled them. So if we go and bring up our Fabric API and we enable all of these guys, that is my one. Now without the fog you can see that clear as day, but it is over 128 blocks away. The pink sphere around it is the non-spawnable space when I'm in the AFK spot. So when I'm over here, everything in that pink circle is non-spawnable because it's too close to the player. And as you can see, it cuts into a massive chunk of these back-end platforms. Nothing over that side, but all of this side here, it then becomes unspawnable. So if I extend the outer ring by probably around about 2 or 3 blocks, and it will create a lot more spawn-in spots. And if they are aggroed, like at the moment they're just all going for the turtle egg, which is great because they actually track them from pretty far away, as you can see. Because I'm nowhere near there, and they're definitely not aggroed on me, and that this way they'll carry on giving XP even though I'm not actually aggroing them, which is fantastic because it does mean that I can just come over here without worry of getting battered by them. I don't think they're going to attack me if I get too close either. Yeah, see, if they're not aggroing on me, I can get this close and they won't actually do anything. But yeah, so that's the farm. It's all working. It's all happy days there. That's my farm. No, that's my phone alarm going off. I've been talking for 8 minutes now, so it's going to extend the video even more. I do apologise. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode, and hopefully I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye bye.